Hello, everybody. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. A little bit excited to share my DNA test results. Um, I've watched many videos of people from East Africa sharing their DNA test results, and I was like, why not? Let me try it. But more so for me, the biggest thing is I just wanted to have my DNA in the in the uh, in the database, so that my great grandkids, if they did the DNA test, they can find me and they can connect. Just being there. But I love history and I love geography as well. So I was just curious to know, like, where my great grandparents came from and who am I actually. So that's why I kind of did this DNA, and I want to share my personal time machine, as it's called. So let's dive into this. I will be sharing some screenshots for authenticity and everything. So I did my DNA test about a month and a half ago, and I just got my results from a company called My Heritage. Okay, so my expectations before I did the DNA. Oh, by the way, who am I? Yeah. I'm from Rwanda, okay? So I'm from Rwanda. My parents are from Rwanda. My grandparents are from Rwanda. My great grandparents are from Rwanda. So I'm Rwandan 100%. Yes. So, yeah, I'm East African, okay? So my expectation was like, I'm gonna have maybe some Bantu in because I've watched many videos, like many people from East Africa, like they have a kind of a good percentage of Bantu, some of them. So I was expecting a high percentage of Bantu, and then maybe some other groups, here and there. But surprisingly for me, I don't have a very high percentage of Bantu, but still, I'm about 90%, 95%. No, I'm 94% African. So 94% African. And I'm gonna break down that 94% because that's also very important. 32% Maasai. Okay, 32% Maasai from. So when I did the research about Maasai, or actually not a research, is like the DNA shows exactly like who are the Maasai people. But you can also do your personal research and find out Maasai. So Maasai 32%. Maasai are not Bantu. Maasai are Nilotes. Nilotes, I think that's how it's pronounced. Nilotes or Nilotes. Okay, from the Nile. Okay, so basically these are the people who are originally or historically have been in the Nile Valley. Okay, the Nile Valley in Sudan and southern Egypt and Sudan and Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Eritrea. In those regions, that's where you find Nilotes or Nilotes, and then Rwanda and Burundi as well. And so these are, if you don't know Maasai, you can find them on Google, but they are very famous people. They are very tall. They are like dark skin, But Nilots in general, when you talk of like the tallest basketball players from South Sudan, these are Nilots. So this is the group that I have 32%. Okay, this is the highest that I have actually. So I should go into the NBA draft, I guess. Okay. So 32% Nilots. Masai Nilots. It's a little bit shocking, but it's good to know. I mean, it just kind of gives you kind of imagination of like where your great grandparents came from, and just the connection with all these countries, Sudan and Southern Egypt, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Rwanda. It's all connected now, but Somalia as well, I think. But it's a very shocking percentage. 32% is a very big number. And then 19.9% Kenyan. So this is actually Bantu, purely Bantu, 19.9%. So as I said, I was expecting this Bantu Kenyan percentage to be very high, but it's only 19.9%, which is not a significant number. But so my Kenyan friends, Jambo, Abalizenu. Okay, so that's my Swahili, which is not very good, but I can get by. 19.9% Kenyan. Obama, are you listening? So so that's Kenyan. So I've been to Kenya, by the way. I've been to Kenya a few times, Nairobi. So I'm actually very proud of this percentage too. Yeah, I should go to Masai Mara and Tanzania, Kenya, and or Sudan or Egypt to find out this 32% as well. And then I am also 15.7% North African. 15.7% North African. So by DNA categories or regions, so North African is basically it can be Egypt. Let me look into this. Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. So that's 15.7%. This is a little bit shocking, but again, for me, since I am 32% Nilotic or Nilot from Maasai of East Africa, I could be as well North African somehow because they are all connected. So 15.7%. And then I'm 13.1% Nigerian, which is a very high number because I wasn't expecting a very high number, a high percentage from Nigeria because West and East Africa, I was thinking that these are two separate regions, but it looks like everything is connected, to be honest. Like migration was very fluid. There was no borders in the time, like thousands of years ago. So people are very free to move. Whatever there was, food and some other factors, obviously, wars, fights. So And then 10.9% Somali. Oh, this is like, wow. 10.9% Somali. But again, Somalia is not far from Rwanda, and if I'm 32% Nilotic Maasai or from Sudan or whatever, Egyptian, Somalia is not a shocking percentage because it's so close, 10.9%, almost 11% Somalian. I should go to Mogadishu now. I should get my, yeah. And I am also 1.3% Sierra Leonean, which is West Africa, to the tip of West Africa. So in total, I'm actually like 14.4% West African, which is like, I didn't expect that percentage, but I will take it, Maybe that explains my kind of like athletic abilities running, but I should be able to run with my East African genes, but I think it's good to have like some West African genes too. And then, excuse me. So that was Africa. As I said, I was about, in introduction, I was 94 something percent African. The rest is, spread around the world. So I have 3.6% European. So 3.7 European. So 3.7 European, broken down as 2.1% Ashkenazi Jewish and 1.6% Iberian. Iberia is where is Iberia? I can click on Spain, Portugal, 1.6%. Jewish, 2.1%. The other surprising percentage for me is Native American, which I have 1.3%. I mean, how am I Native American? Like 1.3%. Like, as I said, every member of my family is in Rwanda, so I've traveled, but that doesn't change my DNA. So, okay, also 1.2% Middle Eastern. 1.2% Middle Eastern. Arab. Maybe. Or Middle Eastern, it can be from Yemen, it can be from Middle Eastern, it can be Yemen, it can be, yeah, I think Yemen people, some of them, they are black people, so it's possible to be Middle Eastern, a small percentage, I think. The only other percentage that shocks me is Nepal. I'm Nepal, almost 1% Nepal. I don't know this because this is very, very far. This is very, very far, So that was my, excuse me, that was my DNA breakdown, which means that I'm mainly North African, as in North African or Nilotic, Nilotic, because if you add the Maasai to the North African, maybe plus that Somali percentage, that's more than 60%. So more than 60%. I'm like north of like Sudan, Sudan or Somali. Nilotes are in North Africans, mostly North Africans. The Maasai percentages is very high. So, and the Maasai people, by the way, they are everywhere. There is about 40 something million people. When people talk about Maasai, it's not only those you see in the robes and pierced nose and lips only. Maasai people, they are like everywhere. It's me, it's somebody else. Like we have that, DNA in us. So it's not like only Kenya and Tanzania. So 44 million people, they are like not only in Kenya and Tanzania, they're everywhere. Like Sudan, Ethiopia, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda. So these are farmers or pastorists. They move from place to place with their cows, and these are kind of tribes you find they are lactose intolerant. Lactose tolerant. They can drink liters and liters of milk with no problem. Maybe that explains why they are very tall, but so that's and I have some relatives too in this DNA match. I found some relatives, some cousins in Europe, in Switzerland, Belgium, USA, Sweden. But these are not like Europeans. These are like Africans who live there. Some from Rwanda, some from North Africa. And we have it's a medium probability of being fourth, fifth cousins. So that's and in the nutshell, I have 11 ethnicities in me. 11 ethnicities. And by the way, just to remind you, my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents are from Rwanda. So, and as far as I know, there was no intermarriages in there, but obviously, it looks like we are from everywhere. So that was me. That was my time machine, and this thing is very fulfilling as well as depressing at the same time, because it kind of like exhausts you with this information which you don't know what to do with. So, but it was a pleasure sharing with you my DNA test results. Thank you very much for watching, and you can leave comments in the comment sections, and I will go through them, and maybe we can have a conversation. Thank you very much.